What is up, everybody? Today we are doing part one of a two-part series about a new cow. Today's cow goes by the name Phibz. Now, Phibz does these like IRL edit animation meme things, and that's what she kind of blew up for, was because it was really cringe, and everyone thought it was kind of funny, and she gained kind of an ironic fan base. But it was pretty soon after leaked that she was in a Discord server full of minors, and that she was engaging in roleplay with like 14-year-olds and shit. A whole bunch of crazy shit. There's even at one point to where there was a screenshot leaked of her telling a 15-year-old she wanted to carve their name into them or something and then kiss the scar. It was like super fucked up, and just something that as a 19-year-old you should not be telling a 15-year-old at all. And as a 19-year-old myself, I would consider talking to a 15-year-old absolutely diabolically disgusting. But you may be wondering why this is a two-part series on Phibz. I mean, Phibz doesn't probably sound all that interesting at first, because I mean, it's just a cringy TikToker who got caught doing roleplay with kids. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is that she got an interview with none other than Jidion. Basically, the same thing that happened with Nova happened with Phibz, except for Phibz, instead of chickening out, decided to actually go on Jidion's stream, up on panel with him, and do a little bit of an interview. Now, this first half of the interview that I'm covering today is around 20-ish minutes long, so this one's probably going to be a little bit of a long video. I'm going to interject a lot. Today's footage is some footage of my sea monkey colony. I've got my grow light going, trying to get some algae going in the tank. But without further ado, let's just start getting into this interview, I guess.
It's Phibz. What's up, Phibz? So, Phibz, man. I mean, would you be willing to show like do a face-to-face and I turn on my camera too?
Will this be like, will people be able to see me? Because I know you're on live right now.
Yeah. They would be able to see you.
All right, fine, sure.
Okay, awesome.
Can
you see me?
Way, yeah, I can. But by the way, I don't have much time because I have an appointment at like 12:15. Is 11:35.
Okay, no, you're good. So, Phibz, I appreciate you for doing this interview with me. Hey, so it's nice to meet you. Do you know who I am?
I think I have a little bit of context.
A little bit of context.
Like, you catch pedophiles, correct?
I do a lot of things. You know, I stream. I used to do pranks. I'm a child of God. But I'm taking a break right now on my my EDP watch. You know, we're taking a little break right now, but we're just chilling. But yeah. So you're not a stupid person, so I'm not gonna even treat you like it. I feel like you kind of like already know like what's kind of been spreaded on the internet and stuff like that. But. Yeah. Just to let you know, genuinely, like, the reason why I'm talking to you is because I don't think you're a bad person.
Now, if you've ever watched a Jidion Predcatch, this is what he says to every single person he talks to. Now, the reason he does this is to kind of appeal to their good side so that they'll be more willing to, divulge information, be willing to share things, and be a lot more open with him. And as you're going to see, this strategy does indeed work for Jidion in this interview.
Like... you know how the internet is. They come to conclusions. They're like, oh, Phibz is like this, so everybody else has to think like that. And I'm like, bro, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you a fair shake, because there's two sides to a coin, you feel me? And if you don't hear the other side, it's like, hey, that might be the most valuable information, you feel me? So that's why I wanted to get your side. But I mean, before we get into any of that, like, what got you posted on TikTok and stuff?
Well, when I started on TikTok, like, I started very, like, basic TikToker. Like, I upload videos. I did my own thing. I think that's the thing that got me mainstream, is that I don't really care about people's opinions too much. So I started doing these things called in real life animation memes.
Now, here's some examples I pulled off of re-uploads from YouTube, so thanks to the people who are archiving this stuff, so I have examples. But as you can see, this stuff is exactly why Phibz blew up. It's incredibly cringy, and everything in it just absolutely is horrible content.
I'm not sure if you heard of that.
Yeah, so like it's where you're like you're doing it so that way it's easier for them to do the edit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you do those videos ironically or is it unironically?
Kind of both.
Kind of
Depends
both.
on the real life animation meme. Sometimes I do it to help those who need help with tweening, and then I also just do them for fun because I can.
So, are you? Would you say like you're out here trying to like give people confidence and stuff like that? Like, hey, be confident in who you are.
Absolutely, because I feel like a thing in like society in general is that everyone is always trying to be someone else.
Facts.
And I don't think that's right, you know? Like you should be yourself. You should be proud of who you are.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't know if you ever watched any of my pranks, but I used to get a lot of hate on there. Be like, oh, this dude's annoying, stuff like that. But I would have people come to me and be like, bro, man, you gave me inspiration to not care what other people think. Do my own thing. Be myself truly. I used to have some merch called Just Being Me, So I'm real big on that too. So, I genuinely, I respect the hell out of that. Truly, truly.
Now, this is another way that Jidion tries to get the people he interviews to trust him. He tries to appeal to the ego and be like, oh, so you're kind of doing this to help people, and you're doing this to, give people confidence, and Phibz is just kind of going like, yeah, of course I'm doing it for that reason. And then he'll go and try and relate himself to the person. Now, the way he does it with Phibz is talking about, well, I like to help people, and I see you're trying to help people too, and I respect that, and I respect you for trying to help people. And this is, again, just appealing to Phibs' ego. It's feeding her ego, saying, yeah, I'm a well-known pred catcher, I respect you. So she's going to be a lot more willing to divulge information since she thinks she has this honorable level of respect with Jidion now.
I guess what do your parents think about like kind of like your social media status and everything?
My mom is probably like one of the most people that know about my social media status. Like I would call her like my manager in that sort of topic because she's helped guide me in what videos to post about the situation and what not to post about the situation.
Oh, so your mom knows about the kind of like the situation happening right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially gotten like to a point where like all sorts of shit has happened even in real life.
Really? If you don't mind sharing, like what happened in real life?
Okay, so at my school, this is the reason why I left.
Now, I want you to pay attention to this part about the school because I think the school did probably the most reasonable thing they could have in this situation, given the circumstance. And, it was just I'll just let it play out for you.
At my school.
So wait, are you in college?
I was in high school because I didn't get enough credits.
Okay, so like, are you talking about like before, or are you still in high school?
I'm not in high school anymore. I was in high school like a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So you just recently graduated high school?
I'm not graduated. I'm transferring over to a different program. I'm going to place a program in a college where it's all like you learn life skills rather than general education.
I mean, we need that. We need that in today's society. I swear, they just throw us to the wolves. They don't teach us how to. I didn't even know how to do taxes or anything. So the fact that you're getting skills like that, I mean, I respect the hell out of that. So you had to leave school because of kind of like all these allegations going around?
So to explain the whole situation, the staff found out about the allegations, but instead of asking me, like asking for my side first, they decided to straight up call the cops for the screenshots. Didn't even ask me, didn't even try to talk to me.
I don't really think, I think, again, what the school did is absolutely reasonable because she was talking to minors, talking about harming herself to minors, and just being overall a fucking creepy-ass weirdo. Like, if I had Phibz in my school, I would be absolutely terrified for the safety of any middle schooler.
Your school called the cops on you?
Yeah, and then later, like a few minutes later after they called the cops, I figured out they called the cops. So it was all like, so I tested my mom because she was the one I trusted with all that because she knows anything more about law enforcement than anyone I know. So I tested her and I was all like, hey, the cops are here. What do I do? She was all like, are you being detained? I was all like, no. Is anyone with you? No. Well, then run.
No, I just want to say, parenting like this is the reason why lol cows exist in the first place. Like, I don't get it. Even in some of Jidion's pred catches, you see this theme to where the parents are like, defending the Preds, and it's so weird that like these people have backing when they did what they did. And even then, sometimes in Jidion's Pred catches, you see the parents being literally shown the evidence and then straight up flat out denying it, saying it's not real. And I think that's what Phibz' mom is doing, is just trying to push it aside, push it under the rug, and be like, no, this is my daughter, it can't be, when we have lots of proof to the contrary.
So, like, were the cops questioning you about the screenshots?
No, they didn't get to that part yet. They were talking with the staff because to be honest with you, I don't fuck with cops. I don't
feel that, man. I want you, just so you know, I'm not a cop or anything. Like, you're able to leave whenever you want and everything like that. You know, I just want you to know that.
But anyways, so I ran from the school because fuck that. My mom picked me up, and then the next day,
like, you legitimately ran?
Yes, I know that it wasn't wise of me because you shouldn't run from cops, but it was like in the heat of the moment type of thing.
Yeah.
So move over to next. 2 different events happened. One kid started like shouting at me at the school, like, Phibz, she was 14.
I can't believe that someone at her school was just like, Phibz, she was 14. What the fuck is going on, bro? Like, you know it's absolutely horrendous when you've got people at your school fucking yelling at you about your Discord communications with minors.
So I was all like, yeah, I'm not taking that. So I head over to the vice principal's office. But then my friend stopped me for a second. I was like, hey, what's up? He was all like, hey, the office just pulled me in, asking if I had any forceful sexual stuff with you, or if I had any Discord messages with you. Like, the staff literally pulled some of my classmates in to talk to them.
You like your friends?
Yes.
How old are your friends?
That friend was 17.
Now, you know it's absolutely horrendous when your principal is pulling in your friend because of some Discord messages, and they were so bad that they're asking if they've been essayed or if they have had any kind of inappropriate Discord communications with you. Like, that's when you should know that what you did is morally reprehensible and that you definitely 100% should not have done that in the first place. But I think that for most 19-year-olds, they would recognize that talking to a 14-year-old is bad without having to get caught doing it. In fact, I don't think they would need to do it at all to realize that it's bad.
Okay. So did the staff ever try to get your side of the story, or did they kind of like...
No, and to be frank, I don't think they wanted it. They're like very ignorant people.
Yeah. So, you know, I watched the first video, and like kind of like I saw, like, it was, to me, the first video I seen, it was kind of like a nothing burger. I would say like the only thing, and I think you would agree this wasn't a good decision, it's kind of like you were defending your friend that was saying that they were into CSAM and stuff, and like I probably figure like if you had to go back, you probably wouldn't like say that or do that again, right?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Now, this is another point that a lot of people like to bring up with Phibz, is that she defended someone who was caught with inappropriate materials of children. And their defense of this was, oh, it was in the past. We don't judge people on what they did in the past and everything. But the problem with that argument is that it is, you know, CP. And, you know, people who tend to look at that stuff and tend to like that stuff, they tend to not stop liking that stuff. And if you don't know, CSA is probably one of the most highest recidivism crimes, meaning that people are basically, if you commit a crime against a child, you're almost bound and pretty much expected by law enforcement to end up repeating this crime. That is why they have these people on registries, is so that people know to stay away from them, not let their kids near them, because they might just go diddle your kid if you're not careful. And it shouldn't need to be explained that defending someone like this is absolutely morally reprehensible, and it's something that no wise person would ever do unless they themselves enjoy that kind of material and are trying to find people to relate to in that sense. Now, I'm not saying that Phibz has inappropriate material of children. I I would say they most likely don't, but the fact that they are associated with someone who did enjoy that kind of material, got caught enjoying that kind of material, and then they proceeded to defend this person, saying that because it was in the past, that it's completely okay. It sets off a lot of alarm bells, speaking that they're also talking to 14-year-olds and they're doing role play with kids. So, it's something to think about,
Absolutely.
So I was like, from that one, I was like, okay, I'm sure she has a moral compass. And then there was a second video where there was, two people who came out saying like, hey, things have happened. And, one's 16, you're 19. That's pretty close. It's like nothing can really be done about that, right? But then there was the 14-year-old. His name is Vance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys were doing some kind of like RP. What does RP stand for?
So here's the thing with that situation. Yes, role play.
Role play. Okay.
But here's the situation with all that. I never role played with Vance. We did this whole in character call. We did that.
Let me tell you, believe it or not, doing an in-character call is called role-playing because you are playing a character and you are, playing the role of this character. So therefore, it is still role-play with a 14-year-old, you fucking dumbass.
It was more like a friendly type thing.
So it never got sexual at any point?
No.
No.
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
So I'm just saying, like, did Vance maybe get carried away with it? He's 14. He's talking to an attractive girl. Did he get a little carried away? Maybe it kind of got a little sexual and you had to stop him like, hey, wait, get back in the role, get back in the character. Did that ever happen?
No, Vance never did that.
Vance never did that? Okay. So is that why he never really showed too much of like the interaction?
I have no idea. The minute someone sent me that post that Vance made, I immediately blocked him on everything, including that 16-year-old that was involved.
Okay. I know you blocked him, and that's good. But do you still have any of those messages left? Like, because I feel like something that could really put this to bed. And, if you want to send it to me later, like, I promise you, I won't show it or nothing. Like, I'll just go over it, and, like, I'll just tell people, like, if it looks sus, I'll be like, hey, there's some stuff in here. But, like, if it's straight, I'm going to be like, yo, she's telling the truth, Lynn. Like, it was, like, pretty good. Do you still have those messages with Vance?
I would have to check.
You'd have to check? Okay.
And I'll do that after, like, this call.
Yeah. So, did Vance make an allegation that the messages or the role play got sexual?
I have no idea. Like I said, I haven't seen the video he made.
Chat, did the Vance guys say that it got sexual in the messages?
I'm trying to think if I have any info on it. Yeah, no.
No.
But to explain, like, my side of the story, so with Bella, right? Because Bella was the actual one I was deciding to roleplay with.
And Bella's the 16-year-old, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We never did the roleplay. And if anything, like, it was going to be like an in-character light romance. It wasn't going to be like anything sexual or anything like that.
I still think doing a romantic roleplay with a 14-year-old is absolutely fucking disgusting because you're simulating some form of romantic relationship with this person and they are 14. So at that point, is it not just you pretending to e-date a 14-year-old?
Also, as soon as those allegations, like the new ones with Vance and Bella, got up, I immediately hit up my friend and was all like, hey, I have no idea what to do right now because what they're putting out, I just don't think I should make a video on it because my mom warned me, like, hey, if you post more allegation videos, it's gonna, like, reach more people and get us more in trouble, Yeah. So I texted my friend and she was all like, okay, I'm gonna be real with you for a second. Phibz, remove any and all minors from your DMs.
Now, Phibz has managed to blow away my expectations for how fucking stupid they are once again. Not only, after getting caught, did they still have minors in their DMs? You know, you would think after getting caught talking to minors, you would instantly block all the minors in your DMs. But no, Phibz had to get told by a friend to take all the minors out of their DMs. I find that absolutely fucking horrendous. And just to remind you, Phibz is 19 going on 20. So they had the absolute bright idea of, after getting caught talking to minors, of not removing the minors out of their DMs instantly. Like, I'm betting you we're gonna find even more leaks within the coming weeks. Hey, that rhymed on accident.
Immediately. So I did exactly that.
And like, was there like a lot of minors to remove from those DMs?
Not a lot below the age of 16.
I don't like how she exclusively said below the age of 16 there.
Not a lot. Okay, so it was mostly like 16. So like, what was the youngest age that had to be removed, you would say?
I want to say like 14.
14. Okay, so 14. So there wasn't like one or two, maybe like 10 or 11-year-olds, nothing like that.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so it was just strictly like 14, but mostly it was 16 and up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess, do you think, let's say there was a fly on the wall, right? And this fly saw you and Vance's role play conversation and read all the messages, right? And this fly is not on your side, and this fly is not on his side. What do you think that fly would say happened? Do you think he would be like, this was a pretty innocent encounter? Or do you think that fly would be like, this was some sexual, this was a little sexual? What do you think that fly would say?
That fly would say, yeah, I think it's like a misunderstanding. Like, I never taught sexually with Vance or Bella. And I can say that proudly in my message.
So what was the role play with the 14-year-old?
So with Vance, it was like a whole group. It was like Thomas Sanders, Sandersides. You probably don't know what that is.
I know. Man, I'm a boomer. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But basically, to sum it up, it was like these 4 characters who are friends, I guess. And with all of them, we would do like friendly, like in-character interactions.
Okay, so you do like so it wasn't a one-on-one role play with you and Vance, is what you're saying, or was it?
Oh no. Any role play I did do was in like a public space, like in a group chat.
Okay, so there's people that were witnesses to this role play.
Yes.
So I guess why haven't any of them came out and was like, hey, I was in this role play with Phibz and I can attest nothing bad happened? Why isn't no one coming out to your side?
I legitimately have no idea. I will say that I don't think any of them were like in the right headspace.
Of course, a minor is not going to be in the right headspace. The pink fatty substance called brain matter that is in their cranium is not fully developed. Shit, yours ain't even fully developed, and nor is mine. But yours should be developed enough to know that role-playing with minors is wrong, and that they are not in the wrong for role-playing with you because they probably don't know any better. So, technically, if anybody is not in the right mindset, Phibz, it's you.
It was a lot.
So you said it was a group, but you still didn't like really say what the role play was. I think if people knew what the role play was, because it's like, let's say if you're playing GTA, you know GTA RP? Mm-hmm. So it's like if you're playing GTA RP and you're GTA RPing and there happens to be a 14-year-old there, you know, that's a lot different than, and nobody would be mad at you, whereas if you're freaking, you know, a more kind of sinister role play with specifically it being egg.
Okay, so I can say...
Wait, everybody's... What does egg mean? I'm so confused. Do you know what egg means?
I just love how Jidion's chat, in one conservative effort, just started spamming egg to remind us of this glorious haircut that Phibz had a while back. Fucking hilarious.
There's only one conclusion that comes to my head, which is I had like this old haircut that would make me look like an egg. So it's the only conclusion I have to that.
Okay, yeah, I was like genuinely, I was like confused. I was like, okay, but So can you let everybody know, because people are gonna see this, and this is gonna get your side out, and I'm sure this is probably gonna change a lot of people's minds. But what exactly was the role play? Like, what was the scenario? What was going on? What was your character, and what was Vance's character?
So it was 4 or 5 people.
Okay, 5 people.
Vance's character was named Logan. He was like a smarty, logical type character.
Okay.
I was Virgil, a guy with eye bags and a hoodie.
Okay. Was it an off-white hoodie? Like for the late great Virgil? Or no?
Wait, what?
Never mind. Okay, so it was Logan, Virgil, Virgil, Vance was Logan. So, okay, you don't have to explain to other people. So what was the scenario you guys were all in?
So the scenario was like basically in the living room family type situation.
In the living room type situation?
Yeah, like when you're hanging out with your friends in the living room, like that was what the role play was based off of.
Okay, and what were you guys talking about, like, in the living room?
Well, all sorts of things. We also played games like Dress to Impress, or I also streamed Doki Doki Literature Club one time.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me we're getting it. Come on, Smokey. They're just cartoons. Arc coming soon, bruh. Hell nah.
Okay. So was there ever any... Okay, let's say the roles were reversed, right? You're the 14-year-old girl and Vance is 19, right? Do you think you would feel kind of like, oh man, maybe this is a little kind of grooming? Like, if the roles were reversed, can you see maybe where he's coming from?
I mean, I can always see where the other person is coming from. My words can get easily misunderstood, especially under a lot of pressure, because when I'm under a lot of pressure, I usually mess up my words, and it's hard to understand.
Okay, so do you think you might have said something that, like, he misconstrued it for something else?
Yes, that could highly be possible. I would need to double check DMs, but...
So what do you think it was that you said?
Hold on. Let me look. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, take your time.
Actually, I'm not seeing anything.
You're not seeing... So this was this did we ever have, like, one-on-one discussions with Vance? Or was it always, like, in a group chat on call?
We had one-on-one discussions with Vance.
Okay, so what would you and Vance talk about when you guys would be one-on-one?
Hold on, I'll give you an example.
Okay, yeah.
So, this is on a day. Vance. Hi, I just woke up, and I was like, because the day before they were kind of off, so I was all like, well, I hope you're okay. And they're all like, I've been worse, honestly. I don't really care. I was all like, okay, just please stay safe. And then I gave them a Virgil edit because they like Virgil.
That's your character?
Yeah.
So how does Virgil dress when you do Virgil?
Kind of emo.
Okay. Is it
in my cosplay?
In your cosplay, okay.
Because mostly I did closeted cosplays, so.
So what would Vance cosplay as well?
Not like during this duration, but they have cosplayed as Logan before.
And what does Logan dress up as usually?
He has a black, so coming from memory, black shirt, tie, glasses, black shirt, blue tie, black glasses, pretty much.
Okay, so I never got unrevealed, like nothing strapped down or nothing. So have you been thinking about, like, legally coming after some of these people making these allegations?
I wouldn't know how I would go about that.
Do you know what defamation means?
Mm-mm.
Now, there's a few things I want to say about that. I let that play out a little bit because there wasn't really much commentary I could give in between that, because that's a whole lot of filler there about how her and this 14-year-old were, talking just in, like, a private group chat, just her and him, and that they would do role play and that they'd cosplay and everything with each other. It's just, like, really boring, rudimentary shit. But still, none of this shit should be done with a 14-year-old. Absolutely every bit of it is disgusting, because you're 19 years old and you're doing this stuff with a 14-year-old knowing their age. Now, my goat Jidion here is about to make the tragic mistake of teaching Phibz what defamation means. Note, I don't think Phibz would have much grounds for a defamation lawsuit anyways, but still, she's gonna eventually try slinging this at people to get them to shut up and to quiet up about her, and it's not gonna work. It's gonna be like Cyrax every time he says defamation, trying to throw a cease and desist letter at you. You know, it's just not gonna work because A, most of what we do is protected under fair use, and B, we have freedom of speech, which as Americans is our right. You can't silence the First Amendment.
You don't? Okay, so defamation is like, let's say I was like, Phibz, you're a great person. And everybody's like, no, we all know Phibz is not a great person. And you're like, oh no, you're lying on my name. You could sue me for defamation. You know, you can pretty much win. You know what I mean? And you can get like a monetary thing and all of that. So that's just an example of what that is. I mean, my bad.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was saying, wouldn't that need a lawyer, which costs money, which I don't have that money?
Yeah, it could possibly cost a lawyer. I mean, but you have over 1 million followers. Like when did you first stop blowing up?
I started blowing up, I want to say about a month ago now.
So how many followers did you have a month ago?
10K.
You had 10K followers a month ago.
Yes.
And now you're at 1 million.
Yes.
So you're really like an overnight sensation.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh my gosh, so this has been probably like hard for you to like navigate kind of like this new fame.
Oh yeah, it definitely like took some time to get where I am now, where it's just all like anyone that I see posting anything like regarding allegations is immediate block. I have my friend requests and my messages requests like off, so I can't see those. And then I have my comments to my friends only, like people I have mutualed with.
Okay. Do you have Telegram?
Telegram? No.
You have Signal?
Signal. Let me see. Let me double check. Yep.
Oh.
Now, here's another thing Jidion is pulling from his pred-catching experience. He's asking if they have any of the big encrypted chat messaging apps, and there's a good reason for this. The reason why he's asking this is because a lot of the times apps like Telegram, Signal, WhatsApp, or anything that has chat encryption is often used by criminals to trade, illegal imagery or illegal videography with other criminals, and that's why it relates to this kind of investigation. Especially speaking that Phibz defended somebody who got caught with CP that they probably received from one of those messaging apps.
You have Signal? Okay. What do you be doing on Signal?
Texting my mom because my mom says that the government can watch our chat, so I just be texting my mom and my family.
Now, I don't know what's scarier, that Phibz has Signal or that Phibz's family literally uses Signal for the sole purpose of not having the government track their chats. No, I'm not one of these people who thinks that everybody that uses these apps is a bad person. But when you've been caught associating with people who use those apps for illegal purposes, and your family is defending your actions, then it makes it a lot harder for me to trust that your family is using that app for the correct intentions.
Really? Are any of your friends on Signal?
No.
No? Okay. I know when my dad downloaded Signal, like, he got added in, like, a bunch of just weird group chats, and, people were sending him stuff that he did not want and had to get that stuff deleted for him. Like, has that ever happened to you where, like, you're getting added into some group chats where it's like, whoa, okay, I did not sign up for this?
No.
No.
Also, if you need proof that I'm testing only family, I can show you my Signal app.
And there was another little subtle thing he does, is he'll make up like an anecdotal story about, oh, my dad got sent some illegal images and he had to get it wiped off his phone. Like, he'll do this during the pred catches to try to get the predators to open up about maybe receiving some kind of illegal videography or imagery. And it really opens up the door to a lot of these conversations. And a lot of these strategies have now gotten Phibz to the point to where she is willing to send Jidion screenshots of her signal. And as you'll find out in part 2, she actually does do this.
No, I believe you. I believe you. I'm gonna trust you genuinely. I'm gonna trust you on that.
And I just want to say I highly respect you for going about this conversation respectfully.
Of course.
Because a lot of people who have tried to interview me have always been like disrespectful or pushy or just like in general rude.
Alright, that's where we're going to end today's video. I think that cutting it off there is probably a good segue into the next part of the stream. So, you know, at that end point there, she's just kind of talking about how, oh yeah, thank you for being so understanding and all that. Thank you for patronizing me and patting my ass so that I don't feel guilty about what I did. And that's what Jidion is really good at. He's really good at making them feel secure enough to where they're willing to open up in these kind of really incriminating conversations, and it's kind of funny. Now, you hear in Phibz at that end part also talk about how Jidion's very respectful about this interview and how a lot of other people are not so nice to her when they do interviews, and that's because she got caught talking to a 14-year-old. You cannot, and I mean cannot, get caught talking to a 14-year-old and expect any decent amount of respect from any living, breathing human being. And when you do interviews with people, a lot of the time, when you get caught talking to 14-year-olds, it's not gonna go well, because A, they're gonna be pretty hostile towards you because it's a morally reprehensible thing to do, and B, people don't like pedophiles. Believe it or not, not many people that I know, and myself included, are not willing to associate with pedophiles. I mean, they're just not good people. They don't deserve an ounce of the free air that they breathe, and they deserve to be locked up for life. But anyways, if you liked what you saw today and you want to see more, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a sub, and I will see you in part 2 of the Phibz interview. Peace.
But like I said, fuck Cyrax, fuck sickos.